Can you guys still play? We always talk about tuning out a coach and we look for signs. I don't know that anybody can ever watch a game and go, oh, they're not playing for the coach. But as you guys as players, you've gone through coaches. If you don't want to play for that particular coach or you're tired of his message or whatever, I don't know if you guys have even had that system, but can you still play hard for him? And my point is players can, this team is known as playing hard every night, for the most part, every shift. Yeah. Is that a sign of they still want to play for the coach, or does it matter? Or is this just a group that plays hard night in, night out for each other? Do you get my point?
I get your point. And I think there's a certain level of being able to, and I don't like the term tune out your coach, but there are nights when you have to. There are nights when a coach is just, he comes in and he's not off, he's not on, he's somewhere in the middle, he's non-committal, whatever. You have to find other ways. And I think that this group, and especially the core guys, and then you factor in a Giroux who came in, they play hard for each other. And there's a source of personal pride, and it's led by Brady. You can't take a night off under Brady, right? He doesn't take nights off. So when your captain's leading the charge every single night, there's a personal pride there. And I don't think the coaching staff matters all the time when you have a guy that will personally drag you into every fight like Brady does. But I've never been part of an organization or a team that quit on the coach. And I've been through a few in Ottawa there for a few years. I was on that carousel. Not once did we ever talk about our coach sucks and we're going to quit on him. I think people gravitate towards that when a team starts to falter and they get down on themselves and they don't look like the same team as they did maybe 5 games ago. And that is it's never the case of going against the coach. I've never experienced it. I don't know if you have, Yorkie.
Well, I'll tell you a couple of funny stories. And one's, I don't know if you guys heard the old Scotty Bowman stories. Back when Pittsburgh was winning cups, Barry Smith basically ran all their practices because the guys had had enough of Scotty Bowman. They wouldn't, the players, Mario and the players got together and it was like, nope, you're not coming on the ice anymore. And Scotty, great bench manager, but he didn't go on the ice for practices. They were run by Barry Smith. Crazy. Wow. Like it's, and to Bobby's point, when you got a group, obviously with Mario Lemieux there and the players they had a veteran team. It's the players when they're inside that room together and there's no coaches in there that decide the fate of your team. It really does. And I'll say another story about Barry Trotz, who is arguably one of the best coaches of our time here. When I had Barry in Nashville, we would get together as a group. I think I told this story before. When things weren't going well, we would say, boys, we better start winning because if we don't, Barry's going to get fired. And we had so much respect for Barry that we didn't want to let him down because we knew he had our backs. And that had zero to do with systems, zero to do with structure. It all had to do with a will to win, a will to compete, and knowing the coach is in the battle with you. That's something that I think is probably one of the most important things about today's National Hockey League coach. You need to know that coach has your back and is in it with you. Once the players know the player doesn't care about them as a person and his what he wants is more important, then the coach is done. Then the players, they won't quit on him, but they're not going to respect him, and it's going to be a lot easier for them to go against what he's trying. All of a sudden, you're going to see teams not making, screw him, I'm going to get my points. I'm going to extend my shift, and all the little habits will creep into games. So it's like I said, structure, all this stuff, it is so overrated. It's all about, will this group play for the coach?